All right, welcome. Thank you for coming to Radically Blindian. For those that are new here, my name is Keisha Matthew. For those that are returning, it's good to see you again. We have a very special guest here. She is one woman that I truly enjoy reading from her platform. And as you can just see, she's humble, and we have talked offline and just got to know each other. And she lives in the same state as me, not too far away. So she is someone I definitely feel like we are going to connect and talk so much after this. So please introduce yourself to everyone.
Hi everyone, my name is Divya and I'm Indian and I live in the suburbs of Chicago. And yeah, I'm excited to meet with Keisha, and we connected through my page South Asian Nation, which represent the whole South Asian community around the world. And I look forward to having this conversation, and let's see where we go and find a common ground between each other.
Yes. And we have, especially during our conversation, even though it was brief, it was still
Mm-hmm.
impactful because it's one of the deeper conversations I've had with someone of South Asian descent that's a woman
Mm-hmm.
on the stuff that we're going to talk about today, which is makes me feel at home. It's not
Yeah.
talking about the stuff that everyone expects women to talk about, but it's stuff that really impacts both of our communities. We feel
Mm-hmm.
very passionate about. Anyone involved in social justice, I'm always intrigued about. So, with that being said, can you share a little bit about who are you? Who's Divya, and what brought you to create South Asian Nation?
Um, Good question, Keisha. Because recently my husband was like, a lot of people told me I should write about myself, like write a book.
Mm-hmm.
And I recognize myself as a very ordinary person. So, and when you ask me, who am I? Again, I'm such an ordinary person, like a common person who's, a very day-to-day life. But there's so many layers to being so ordinary. And one of which is, myself through South Asian Nation, and then myself through my personal page, which is Brown Girl Magic. I'll share that publicly.
Yes, I like it. I like it.
So, but things that I grew up with, struggles from my childhood. I grew up in a very poor household. My father, he didn't have a job. He wasn't working. My mother worked overtime, and just to provide good education to me and my brother. And then growing up in those circumstances in that neighborhood, small neighborhood, where a person like me who belongs to a other backward caste, and as you know, caste is a huge part of Indian society. And all of these things together, I think, created this ordinary me who want to learn, create awareness, and start conversations about different aspects of a normal human being's life and things and the system we have to we have to work with and tackle at the same time, things that are not in our favor and things that how we can start and bring that change together. For me, with South Asian Nation, for me, it's always about learning and breaking my own judgments about things that I grew up with and things that I need to change. A lot of colonization of my mind
Mm,
with my
mm,
color, the skin I'm in, the body I'm in.
mm,
Growing up, I was an athlete. Then I grew up and my body grew with it. So, with that came changes as a woman. And by being a woman, I had to, every woman faces some sort of, judgments or some sort of um, it's always a challenge for us to be just to be a woman in
mhm.
this world. So
Yes.
I think being starting South Asian Nation was just one of the ways to not just share my stories, but also to find people who share the same struggles, same history, and even some have it even worse. And I am not like, trying to defy anything or deny anything. It's just that I'm very open about how we're going to bring that change, when there is so much of discrimination within my own community, and it's all around the world, and even people in diaspora. So I moved to the US in 2017. And then when I got here, I saw my friends who are brown, who are born and raised here. They love the culture. But what else? What do you know about the culture? Where do you go on a grassroots level to see,
Mm.
the problems that we are dealing with? Do you know about these things? So these are the things that I wanted to, create awareness about in the West as well as in the East, and bridge that gap.
Mm-hmm.
Because people back home, they think that people in the West are not aware enough. People in the West are think that they are being excluded from their own culture because they are
Mm-hmm.
American, but they're also South Asian. So they feel like they are being excluded from their own culture. So I think the education that South Asian Nation page shares,
Mm-hmm.
brings them both together. And I think the page itself has done a great job, I would say, to bring out some difficult conversations around, where I've been called out a million times, and I'm open to it. I've learned from it and learned from the people who are the change makers, and I am always so grateful about those voices who are working day in and out to create that change in our community, be it caste, be it color, be it discrimination, racism, all of that together, even religion. Religion is a huge part of my community.
Okay.
Hinduism and Islamic, the clash that has been happening over years. And
Yeah.
then, Afghanistan issue, which is huge again. And then people, South Asian folks in Africa or South Africa,
Mm-hmm.
or all around the world. So how, and also like how, in terms of Black solidarity, how are we bringing it all together? How our stories are so similar.
Yep.
So it's everyday struggle, but again, I feel like starting these conversations together can take us further in
Mm-hmm.
bringing that change. Maybe not now, but down the line, when people will see these stories on the internet, they will see that people, the millennials, they started this, and so
Mm-hmm.
that we can take this from point one to point 100, and forward. But it
Yeah.
has to start from somewhere, and I think that's sometimes I feel like it's a blessing that I started this page, and not
Mm-hmm.
just me, but my team members who are involved in it. Everyone is on volunteer basis, and there is a girl. She's a doctor. She lives in Zambia, and she talks about health, women's health, men's health, mental health,
Mm-hmm.
and then we have, because I am from the north part of India, so I don't know the you know I don't know all the languages. There are like 125 or 126 languages in India. So
What part
um
of India are you from? What northern
I'm
part?
yes, I'm from Gurgaon.
Okay.
It's a city next to Delhi.
Okay.
um yeah, so grew up over there, and um honestly, growing up in a very backward class, and
What do you mean
poor.
by that? Backward
I
class.
mean by that, because I want to mention, because people should know how caste affect us. And when I was growing up, I wanted to fit in,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted to make friends. So I lied about my caste, and I lied to people that,
You do
hey,
that being the same.
I'm from the
Okay.
upper caste.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to make friends. I wanted to fit in, and I didn't want people to question me or disregard me just because of my caste.
Mhm.
Um, because every time you would go to a place in India, especially from the north, before they ask your name, they ask your caste.
Really?
Yeah, so hey, which caste are
Wow.
you from?
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
what's your background? And I've dealt with those things and I learned to lie to people and learned to lie, I think, with myself as well. And I think I felt like it's wrong to be apart from a certain caste which is not accepted by the upper caste people or the majority of the country. Um, and then my father, he was very, I think he was the one who made me believe in not just myself, but also the caste we belong to. He motivated me and inspired me to be vocal about it.
Mhm.
So, and all my life, all 30 years of my life, I lied. I hid my caste.
Okay.
And only recently, couple of years ago, I shared on my personal page, I shared on, South Asian Nation that I belong to a, minority caste. I belong to a other backward caste, and this is me.
Mm.
So I think that brought me close, not just to myself, but also to my own community and to the
Mhm.
people that I should be looking up to instead of, people from the upper caste and to be trying to fit in. So I learned to not to fit in, but also start those conversations about it's okay. Um, it's okay if you lied about it
Mm.
because I understand.
Yeah, it's a
And but
survival
then
thing too.
yeah, it was all about survival.
Mhm.
And but then I also understand that how you find yourself, this self discovery, when you are on that path, when you're authentic. And I'm still learning, I'm still trying to just get rid of all the layers that I grew up with.
Mhm.
And another thing was color. um because you know everyone wanted me to be a light skinned person, even though I kind of am. But
Okay.
when you're a kid, you're in India, it's hot, you're playing outside. I used to study under a street lamp because we
Oh,
didn't
that's
have
very
power.
communicative. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yeah, we did not have power in our
You
house.
said street lamp.
Yeah, so under the street light, I'm sorry. So,
Oh no, no.
um,
I mean, I was just thinking like maybe that's what it is there because the street lights here and we had that same thing. Get in before the street lights beat you, not to beat
yes,
you. So
exactly. So, um, so when I used to play outside, my skin tanned naturally, and I remember my mom giving me this dishwash soap to clean my face
okay.
because of the chemicals,
Uh-huh.
how it cleans the dust from the dishes. It
Mm-hmm.
will it would cut the dust from my face and it would cut
Okay.
my skin, but
Mm.
not the color.
Okay. It wasn't like lightning. So
No, no.
okay.
Oh, well, I've done bleach as well. I've,
Okay. Well, thank you for
I've
your honesty.
Yes, absolutely. I think it's important to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because even in school, I've applied bleach on my face, my whole body. Even before I got married, the beautician, the salon, they bathe me into the bleach so that my man can be happy to see me flawless.
Wow. Let's hold that thought for a minute. So literally, what are you speaking literally or figuratively? They bathe you, and it's not bleach, is it?
It's bleach.
It is
They
actually
apply
bleach.
it everywhere, even on your underarms.
What?
Yes, they
Same
call
thing
it
that you clean? Not
skin
the same.
lightening. Yeah, they said, well, you would look clean. What do you mean by clean? Just
Oh,
because my
yeah.
hair is dark, you want them to look golden so
Wow.
that my husband would love me? That doesn't make any sense.
That it wasn't to that extreme for me, but I remember when we had our ceremony in Kerala that they were trying to add the foundation to lighten me. And before I entered, I remember Syriac saying like, don't let them put foundation on you. Don't let them try to like you. I'm like, oh,
Mhm.
okay. And she was, trying to do it to my hands and my face. I said, no, no. And she was shocked, like, how could you not want this?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, where I'm from, this is nice, but wow.
Mhm.
Your whole body, did it tingle?
My
Did it itch?
whole yeah, it burnt. It tingles. It's like
Hmm.
pins and needles all over your body for another like half an hour.
Wow.
Continuous. They even put it in between your fingers, under
Mm,
your arms, so no place
no place.
untouched. That's how, and it's called a pre-bridal package.
Wow. Wow, that is deep. I never heard about that.
And it's very common. If if you look up for it, you would
Mhm.
see those packages and the, price breakdown and the
Mhm.
procedure they do it. And they don't call it bleach, they call it skin lightening. It's one and the same thing,
Yeah,
but it's horrible. I even this time when I visited home like a couple of months ago, and
yeah.
I went into the salon and this lady was ready. She's like, do you want to get the bleach done before, because it will clear up your skin? I said, no,
Clear up.
I'm not okay with it anymore. I'm not okay. My
Good for
sister's
you.
using bleach. I'm
Hmm.
not okay with anyone using bleach in front
Yeah,
of me.
yeah.
It's not, it's going to harm yourself
Mhm.
internally more than externally.
Mm,
And it would take years for someone to, come to terms with their own self. It took me years. I think the first time when I started using bleach on my face was probably when I was 15.
okay.
And I used it till I got married
Hmm.
because I didn't know. I just wanted to look prettier.
Okay.
I think I was literally brainwashed. And also the place I lived in, people I grew up with, everyone did it and they normalized it.